Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to this week's weekly energy boost. My name is Elisheva, and today Eitan and I are breaking down the secrets to facing your shadow. And if you've been listening for any amount of time, you know that in Kabbalah we call the shadow the opponent, the ego, Satan. But this week is really one of those powerful packed weeks where we get the support and the awareness to see so clearly the way that our own personal opponent blinds us, tricks us, gets us to think it's us or that it's someone else. And I'm so excited to share these not only teachings, secrets, but also practical examples of how our opponent hides, not only hides within us, but also hides from us our strengths, our gifts, and our greatest opportunities for growth. Weekly Energy Boost is a 7-day spiritual weather forecast where we provide our listeners with the most practical and powerful tools to navigate the coming 7 days. We do that by gleaning through the wisdom of Kabbalah and extracting the tips, the tools, and the teachings that are going to serve our listeners most, not only this week, but literally any week, any day, any time of our lives. And because we have this unique opportunity to focus in on, again, one thing I always caution myself about when bringing up this topic is when people learn about the concept of the opponent in our classes, in the books, it's very easy afterwards to take that knowledge and look at the world around you and say, oh, that's my husband is definitely in control of his, or being controlled by his opponent. Oh, my mother-in-law is definitely, manipulated by her opponent. That's her opponent. The goal of these teachings is to reflect inward and to use them on ourselves, not to weaponize them and use them on others. This is definitely one of those concepts that changes how you look at the world and how you look at how people operate. But the most important value that it has is it can change how you live your life. So Eitan, how do you want to begin this conversation?
So I'm excited about this conversation. I'm excited about the energy of this week that give all of us the strength to expose the lies of the opponent within. And by doing so, being able to access our soul, access our light, and leverage that awareness towards miracles and growth. Because one of the important statement I would love to share, which is very, very essential Kabbalistic principles. While all of us have an amazing, beautiful soul, and we have endless potentials and endless light within us, in order to be able to access that light, I need to overcome the opponent within. And each one of us have different journey in this world, and that opponent manifests itself in different ways. The opponent is the force that when we are listening to it, and most of the day we're just listening to the opponent, so we naturally gravitated towards selfishness, reactivity, self-doubts, worries, insecurity, judging other, not accepting reality, not seeing our soul, not seeing the good in others, seeing too good in others and something is wrong with me. So we all have it. So number one, to know that the Creator created the opponent in order to test and elevate humanity. That's our job. That's our journey. So today will be dedicated some tools around revealing the lie of the opponent and what is the practice. But before, I would love to share a story from the Torah. A story from the Torah that in this weekly portion that describe the fight, the war, the wrestling between Jacob and the negative angel. They were wrestling all night until the morning. And Jacob won. That angel that represents our own opponent, that's the decodifying the Torah, couldn't control Jacob. And he asked Jacob, please release me. And Jacob said, before I release you, I would like to know your name. And that angel, which representing the opponent within, answered, why do you need to know my name? And he released him. So the angel didn't really answer. He just answered with another question. Why do you need to know my name? And one of the amazing lessons the Rav Berg shared is when Jacob asked the angel in order to teach humanity, what, what, what's your name? Name represent what is your essence? What is your strategy? How do you manipulate mankind? What's your main tricks? And the angel slash the opponent answer, actually, my main strategy, I do not want people to know my name. I'm always hidden. If it will be so clear that every second of our day will see, that's my opponent, I'm judging someone, I'm upset by something. We are blinded. And the fact that we know that I'm blinded and I need to hack that system of not seeing the opponent within, that's a good beginning. He's always hiding. So now we want to share with you tools and examples. How do you recognize in the course of a day the opponent within? Because recognizing it and then going the opposite of the direction the opponent takes us, that's what allows us to actually extract power, light, strength, miracles, accessing the next level. So, what would be the steps, Elisheva, you would recommend?
For me personally, the teaching that really shifted me into a more, I don't think the word is aggressive, but at least more active role in chasing down my opponent and being more clear and aware of its effects on me was the idea that if I want to if if I want to do what my soul came to do, if I want to fulfill my soul's purpose in this lifetime, the best indicator of what I'm meant to do is the things that make me uncomfortable. That if I don't want to do something, and it sounds a little sadistic, but if I don't want to do something, if I'm apprehensive, if I come up when I come up with the reasons to put it off, to tell someone else to do it, to pass the buck, to avoid, I know that's my opponent telling me stay safe, stay comfortable, don't make effort. Your effort is enough. You're not, those catchphrases, other people are doing worse, right? Like you're not that bad. That voice that really, I think that the opponent is so afraid of us being fearless, being powerful, being strong, for me at least, and I know that the voice of the opponent is going to show up differently for every individual, but maybe by us sharing different modes, we can reach everybody out there who's listening and help them to identify. There is definitely a focus for the opponent to keep us stuck and to keep us still. So when you hear that voice, right, telling you, don't bother, it's not worth it, you can't make a difference, you're not that impactful, what's the big deal? There's so many, all of those stay small and stay safe suggestions come from the voice of the opponent.
I love it. So, tool number one that you share, ask yourself a question, maybe at the end of the day, based on what happened today, or the beginning of the day towards the coming day. What am I avoiding? What conversation am I avoiding? What investment of energy I'm avoiding, what confrontation I'm avoiding, what commitment I'm avoiding. There's a constant voice, subtle voice of the opponent, belief of the opponent, to avoid doing or not doing something. So that will be the first tool. I would like to go to another tool, and then we'll give practical example. Every time we don't feel at peace, it's a hidden hint that the opponent is controlling me through my own thoughts. Because we know the opponent operates in many levels, in belief systems, in thoughts. So I would like to speak a little bit about thoughts. So I'm upset, I'm anxious, I'm bothered. And let's start with interactions with other people. You see someone doing something that bothers you, you just judge individual that is not relating to you, or you judge someone that is relating to you. We all day long have moments that I'm set off and I'm disturbed and I'm not at peace, and it doesn't have to be major reactivity. It can be just, I'm off, I'm bothered, I'm upset. So every time I am with someone else, I always pause and go back to my thoughts and asking myself, what is the thought that causing me to be disturbed now? And if you're really honest with yourself, the thought is, it shouldn't be this way. It's thoughts of the opposite of accepting that reality in front of me is exactly the way it should be. Because every time I believe the thought, they shouldn't have done it, they should have been more thoughtful, I don't like the way they've done it, already done it. That thought, I don't like what they've done, they should have done better, they must change, they must understand me, they don't get it. That thought by itself, when I believe in it, causing me pain. It's very simple. Any suffering I'm experiencing, from emotional or physical, start with the thought of the opponent within me that causing me to have lack of acceptance of the present reality. If I will have a thought, it's exactly, that's how they behave. That's who they are. Yeah, I might need to share something and to contribute something and maybe to have discussion with them. But first, they shouldn't have done it. That thought by itself, when I believe in it, cause me suffering. So any suffering that I've done, first question my thought, how I see life. And then there's a second layer. The second layer, why the behavior of that person disturbing me? What is the specific thing about what they said, what they've done, what bothers me about them that can teach me lesson about myself? So I'll give fast two examples. So a person that I know just shared with me how it is upsetting that he revealed the person that he's dating cares too much and attach too much the relationship about the fact that he has a lot of money. And it was revealed to him that that's a major factor that she wants him, she's attracted to him. So there's two layers, and we spoke about layer number one. Maybe She's attracted to the money too much. Maybe not. You're not sure because we're not subjective. Nevertheless, is that thought, she wants my money, helping you to be at peace or not? And I'm not suggesting be blind to who is next to you, but just first reflect. She wants my money. What does it does to your heart? Closing it. She wants my money. She wants my money. So actually, the opponent, the first thing, making the other person your opponent. She is who she is. I'm not sure where this relationship will go through. Part of my life is I have money. Let's see. I'm open. Of course, I want a soul connection, but holding on to the thought, she wants my money, she wants my money, closing my heart, causing me to be more judgmental, creating cold energy. That's number one. Deeper layer, and asking the question, is it the first time that you think or you believe or you see or you recognize the person next to you actually, she only wants my money? He said no. So ask yourself a question, if there's a pattern. What does it teach you about yourself? Because we would like to learn about my own opponent. Now you focus on their opponent. My own opponent. I want to open myself for true soulmate. What does it teach you about yourself? Is there something there that you can learn about your own opponent? Forget about them. Let me work on myself. And he then said, wow, I realize I don't have enough respect to the energy, to the love, to the contribution I bring to the table. So actually, in my own mind, is the money that I made becomes my part of my identity. How can you cleanse that? Are you in touch how beautiful your soul is? Maybe you need to have a deeper respect. Is it part of your opponent when you look at every situations that you're presenting this as your, if you say it or not, doesn't matter. But in your mind, you're presenting yourself as part of your business card. I'm successful. I have a lot of money. I accomplished. And that was an eye-opening. So let me work on cleansing that and come to the table more open. So every time we are disturbed by anything during the course of the day, it's not the situation that disturbs me. It's the opponent. It's a hint that the opponent blocking me to connect with my soul. Any story you want to share?
I'm smiling. There's two that came to my mind just from the last few weeks. I was talking to a student also, and a while ago, a few months ago, and she had the opportunity to travel with her family to a wedding of another family member. So they flew together on a plane. And she noticed how much more respectful the flight crew was to her parents than to her. Now, it's triggering her already. We've spoken about it before, that people treat her that she's younger than she is. She looks about 10 years younger than she is, and it's bothering her. She wants to be treated like an
A
adult.
lot of a lot of people will be excited about it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the other one of the things about the opponent, is that what my opponent does to me and the challenges it presents me with would be easy for you because it's not your opponent, it's my opponent. So, I'm giggling. I would love to be treated 10 years younger than I am. We're talking about it. What does it mean? What does it bring up? And trying to apply a higher level of consciousness to the situation. A few meetings later, she brings the situation. She's kind of holding back in certain areas of her life because she's not getting, and again, it wasn't so obvious. We broke it down after a conversation that it's really, she's afraid of what her parents are going to say or think. How are they going to treat her differently? How they might criticize or ridicule her. And that different things came out, that she is she's looking to her parents for medical advice, for career advice, for relationship advice, and I said to her, "Isn't it funny that just a few weeks ago we were talking about how you want to be treated like the mature adult that you are, but at the same time you utilize the gift of your parents in the way that a younger person would, right? It's a blessing to have your parents in your life, and they care about you and they're interested in you. And at the same time, what can you learn from this? Do you want to be the mature adult? And so when you said that I should be treated with more respect, I should be treated as a responsible adult, and then at the same time, behind that unrest, behind that trigger, lies a secret, a diamond that's asking to be polished and transformed. I can be that mature, responsible adult. You know, what's also funny is, I think it was last week, we have a Kabbalah one in the center in Los Angeles with more than 200 people. And it was raining cats and dogs, which was great for Southern California, but about 40 people didn't come to class last week. That's how the rain affects people in Los Angeles. So the teacher of the class said, how many of you looked at the weather forecast before coming tonight and said, oh, maybe I should stay, maybe I should, it's not, I can listen to the recording, but nonetheless you got here, right? Obviously about 50% of the class raised their hand. Some people, then he said, how many of you rain didn't even factor in, you didn't even think about it, you just came here. So he used that as an example, because for some people are deeply triggered and bothered. Those people didn't show up to class at all because of the rain. Some people were triggered and managed to overcome it, and some people didn't have the trigger at all. So part of, I think, the understanding that the Kabbalists give us is your triggers and your challenges that your opponent presents you with are tailor-made for your growth and your greatness. It's very easy to look at a package. I mean, I'm listening to what you shared before, and I'm sure people are saying, I wish people would be attracted to me because I'm so wealthy, right? I would love that problem. It's not a contest. It's not a competition. Our competition is actually the current version of ourselves. How can we be a more elevated, more expansive, higher consciousness version of ourselves versus competing with someone else's opponent? Right? It's very easy to think other people have it easier than I do. I wish I had someone else's problems. We have to know, and this is one of those essential teachings, that the creation of the opponent is divine. It is for our benefit and for our growth and for our good. And that the idea that even in the Torah it's called an angel. It's the Kabbalists teach that when the Creator created the world, the Creator assigned an angel to be the catalyst of that negative force, so that we, according to our own wishes, would become co-creators of our reality. It's really by transcending and overcoming that voice that we become who we're meant to be. So it's very easy to wish I didn't have it, or I had something else, or the grass is always greener, because we're perceiving the other person's grass through the filter of our opponent. So I think that it's important to go into this week as we're going to have heightened awareness of that voice, to make sure that we're not using it in the wrong way, to almost be envious of other people's opponents. We want to focus on the work that our soul and the Creator decided is our focus for this lifetime, and not be distracted by the rest of the noise.
Beautiful. So let me just go to, because we spoke a lot about every time that I'm bothered and I'm not feeling the flow of peace within me, it's a hint there's some internal opponent actually playing with me. But let me go the opposite way. Let's say you have an amazing day. Nothing bothers you. Everything seems to be amazing and flowing. Is there opponent there? The way for us to climb to our next level of growth, of accessing the light of our soul in a greater way, I need to overcome the opponent within. If we think for a second that the opponent is off duty, it's part of the lie of the opponent. Doesn't mean I need to be anxious, and I'm not suggesting don't enjoy the moment and don't appreciate the moment. But sometimes the opponent manifests itself as being into my own little bubble and don't desire the next level of growth in my life. Sometimes the opponent manifests itself being so stuck in my own peaceful feeling, and I don't have the empathy and feeling the pain of people that close to me and praying for them and asking them and reaching out to them. Sometimes I'm settling for less while my potential is so much bigger, and I'm settling for less with my own accomplishment and my own sense of I'm being recognized and appreciated by others. That's heaven for me. God, please, that's the only thing I want to maintain in my life. Everybody loves me and everything is okay. So the opponent is tricky. While we did not come to this world to be in anxiety, the opponent, negativity, something is wrong with me. No, actually, part of overcoming the opponent is in the ups and downs. Let's try to maintain state of joy, but there's always next level. There's always next level. When things are amazing, pause, appreciate where this amazing flow comes from, and ask questions. What's the next level? I want to unlock the next level. When things will be horrible, you just complain about him and judging them. Pause for a second. What are you complaining? It's your own complaints that causing you actually pain. You own the issue, you don't accept reality, and you don't learn the inner lessons within. So that's what we're asking all of us. Do you want real more joy, fulfillment, revealing your potential, go to the next level of your life? You need to be willing to face the opponent within that is hiding today. But that's part of the daily prayer. I want to connect with my potential. I want to do what I came to do in this world, and I want to reveal more light and more positivity and connecting to my purpose today. But please, the Creator, give me the strength, the awareness, and removing my blindfold to actually see the areas that I'm manipulated. My negative thoughts, my fears, my judgment, my avoidance, blind to see what I need to change, and all of that. Like Michael Berg shared the other week, I said, in one hand, don't settle for less, go to the next level. But part of the job to go to the next level is be willing to dig and to expose.
I love it. I think if we all take everything you just shared, the world is going to look dramatically different. And I think maybe the most important difference is how we feel, right? You spent a lot of time talking today about that feeling of disturbed, right? Bothered, irritated, annoyed. I know sometimes I have a day, nothing major, but I come home and I'm like agitated and I don't even remember why. And I stop and I realize, wow, I've been thinking these intrusive thoughts and that kind of got out of hand. And I don't want my energy to be that way. I don't want to show up that way in the world for my family, for my friends, for my community. So I think even just making that shift, that awareness of what gets us into that place and how the moment we catch ourselves is the moment we flip the switch, right? We take back the control. Who's driving right now changes the whole scenario regardless. Obviously, we want to make sure that we're responsible for our words and our actions when we're agitated, but the moment we flip the switch, the light turns back on and we can go back to the concerted effort that we're making, as you said, to have more light, more connection, more blessings, and especially in this month of miracles, the more we go against that robotic, reactive nature, the greater we'll experience miracles in our lives.
Beautiful.
Weekly Energy Boost is available on all podcast platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can follow us on those platforms to receive more content to help you live what we speak about in every episode. You can also visit us at weeklyenergyboost.com to search our archives, send us a message, and click the donate button to help make Weekly Energy Boost possible. But as always, like, rate, review, and most importantly, share. And we'll see you next week on the Weekly Energy Boost.